So back in 2017, that's around 8 years ago, I made a video discussing the topic of why almost 99% of the Predator stories out there have the Pred always being defeated. I went over the outcome of Predator, the second movie, and Predators in 2010. Even though the humans like Dutch, Harrigan, and Royce were physically weaker, they were able to outsmart the Pred in their own story. The three Predators in the first AVP movie did take out a few humans, but nothing really challenging. Chopper and Celtic were both defeated by the first alien they encountered. Yes, they were young hunters, and this was their rite of passage. But at least Scar took down a few aliens before he was defeated by the Queen alien at the very end. In AVP Requiem, Wolf took down a bunch of aliens, some humans. Now Wolf had some trouble dealing with the Pred alien hybrid, but in the end, the Pred was, of course, defeated. Then we have the 2018 movie by Shane Black called The Predator. The only thing I liked about this movie was this new modified Pred that was like 10 feet tall or something. It was massive. This thing right here, it was a beast. It was awesome. This thing was like half organic and half cyborg. It was awesome and brutal. It took down the smaller Pred in a very cool way. However, the movie itself shows that it had way too much comedy. It was not that serious. And of course, in the end, both of the Preds were defeated. And of course, we might as well talk about Prey from 2022. This was a good movie. I liked it. I know some fans did not like the look of Farrell's face. It was kind of off. But remember, there's different breeds or different races of Preds out there. The action scenes were good. I like the story. They also brought back the net gun or some version of it, so that was cool to see. And then, of course, we have the ending. This awesome, vicious Predator was defeated by a female who was trained to be a hunter. And she learned enough in that small time period to basically defeat this Pred. Yeah, there you go. So, I also said in this old video, I really wanted to see a movie about a Pred that will survive his own story, exploring the hierarchy and culture of the Yautja. He would rise through the ranks and continue to have many legendary battles, and he could possibly show up in a future movie to say, hey, we saw that Pred before in a different movie. So we can look back and say this Yautja started out as a young hunter, gaining the necessary skills and knowledge to overcome any challenge. This Pred would go to many planets to hunt the most dangerous prey. He would venture off alone, proving his strength would defeat any creature he faced. His name and stories would be shared by many clans, and he became one of the most legendary hunters of his time. This is the kind of story I wanted, which brings me to the story of Badlands. We are now rooting for a Predator that is pretty much a young hunter, just thrown onto a planet, and he has to face multiple challenges from different species. This movie is telling the story of this Pred and his journey, which is what I like. It's not the typical theme we've seen before, and you know what theme I'm talking about. There's a Pred in a jungle or in a town or a city, he takes out a few humans, then the main hero of the story defeats him, the end. The story of Badlands is completely different. It's something the previous movies have never done before. If he does survive his own story, hopefully we can see where it might lead into the future. Now, I can understand how some fans don't have any interest in this story because it's putting so much focus on a young hunter. Yes, his face does look kind of odd, but anyways. But really, do you want them to repeat the jungle plus soldiers theme every single time? It's fine if you prefer that, it's okay, but for me, I'm looking forward to seeing something completely different. I think it's also cool how they're adding another Pred in this movie, or at least it looks like a Pred. It could be an elder, or a leader of another tribe, or a different race of Pred, who knows? Kind of like how the ones in Predators from 2010 were different, but they still had the same weapons and technology, just modified in some way. And also, let's not forget about Farrell, who also had a new design. So the one we see in the trailer for Badlands could be the one that's hunting the Preds like Deck. It could be a rival clan or maybe a bad blood clan member. You know, the ones who hunt any type of prey and don't show any restraint or follow any code of honor. They just hunt and destroy anything they want with any method. I was also open to the idea of having a story about a hunting party, going to different planets, hunting together, and facing off against dangerous creatures, also including some of their culture in the story. I guess I just want something really different in these Pred movies, but so far, this movie Predator Badlands does look interesting to me. I'm just hoping this Predator survives his own story and goes on to become a legend that might appear in future novels, comic books, video games, or movies. I guess in a way, I'm trying to say I want a Pred to actually survive his own story, but go on to become a legend and kind of have this long legacy of saying, oh, he did this, he went here, he did that, he accomplished a whole bunch of things. Like, give him this really big story, not just one and done, and then forget about it. Anyway, so that's about it. Are you looking forward to Predator Badlands? Tell me in the comments, and I'll see you next time.